Hello, and welcome to All I Do Is Fail. I am your host, Tom Elwes. I am back from my travels, and I am joined today, as ever, by my co-host, Mr. Ali Woods.
Hello, Tom. Hello, listeners. Hope you're all doing well. I couldn't recognise you.
Yeah.
What, you came in fluent Italian.
I came in, I was like, bonjour.
Bonjour.
Buongiorno.
Tell you what, the croissants in Italy, you think they'd be better.
Oh, always full of jam out there. It's just weird.
You're back, and we had a wonderful episode without you. It really was probably, I'd say... Well, I was talking to producer Lucas, who's in the house. Producer Lucas, how are you? You okay? Have you got
I'm good, thanks. Yeah, I'm good, thanks, everyone.
We really should not give him a mic, but anyway.
Yeah,
So, excuse me, I was just talking there. Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? But
Interns these days.
guys have our favourite producer, Lucas, in the house. As we said last week, within 2 minutes when we had Mooch back, who is a stalwart of the show. Already mentioned 9/11. Already mentioned 9/11.
Straight away.
2 minutes, yeah.
Okay.
So good to have you back, Lucas. So, but we were saying last week's episode was a cracker.
I don't believe you. I mean, I'm just not going to condone it. Look, I'm sure it can't have been that good. It was probably medium, average at best.
No,
you know?
really, honestly, I tell you this.
Look, it's just not going to beat the classic times on this podcast that we've had, you know?
What classic times?
Like, who's faster, a cow or a human? You know, these are the big questions that we get done and dusted on this show.
Depressing.
Lucas, really quickly, what do you think is faster? Very quickly, just off the top. What's faster, a cow or a human over 100 meters?
Human.
Wrong. It's a cow.
No,
we Googled it.
No, over 100 meters. We Googled cow has a higher top speed than a human. But I think over 100 meters, humans win.
That?
Sorry?
Can it maintain that speed?
Oh, it can then run for hours.
Yeah.
Have you never seen cows migrate?
Yeah, the marathon runners.
Cows, they get up and they sort of start ambling, and then they slow, and then they just fucking
The speed is just
cross continents.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! All the cows you think are indigenous to here, they're from like Iraq.
Yeah.
They run through the ocean.
Yeah, it's not a Guernsey cow. It's an Iraqi cow, really. Okay?
Iraqi cow. And you can see Iraqi cow at the Edinburgh Fringe next year. Albeit, no doubt, award-winning show.
Which comics can we call that show?
That's free of charge.
Yeah.
If anyone wants that Iraqi cow.
Okay.
So, yes, but the classic times we've had. Alex was great. She came on. She prepared a story, which is more than. I didn't like that attitude. Actually, I didn't. I would rather she came in true All I Do Is Fail style and sort of went, "What happened this week?" and then just said, "Well, the mics are on, so just start recording. We'll come to it later." But yeah, and also she could squat.
She could squat. What?
Anything, but it was just having a co-host who could move their legs and stuff and sort of use their muscles and things was very good.
Overrated. How many bicep curls can she do there? And that is the real questions that we want to get done here, you know?
Yeah, I said that to her. At first, we got women on. How many bicep curls can you do?
Yeah.
If women can do what men can, how many can you do, right?
Press up challenge right now, me and you, right now.
But she didn't, unfortunately, I will say negative to her, positive to you. She doesn't have at all times a £25 off Top Man voucher.
Loser.
in her wallet,
Yeah.
which
I'm actually struggling to get rid of now, because have you heard that the Top Man in Oxford Circus?
The Top Man.
Yeah, the Top Man. Do you know what that's going to be made into?
VR.
No,
experience. IKEA.
Yeah. That's depressing,
How
isn't
am I
it?
going to wear a wardrobe?
I know.
It's useless, terrible for clothing.
Yeah.
But good for IKEA. They're expanding. Why do they need it to Oxford? Don't they need a huge warehouse?
Well, it's a big space, so yeah, I think they're taking it on.
Jesus. So not only is Oxford Circus crowded enough, now you're going to have people
Walking out with
transport
wardrobes.
coffee tables and wardrobes. They better be fucking flat. But that's not what I'm so angry. I've had enough time walking up and down Oxford Circus. I remember in Oxford Circus, it was all tight-fitted t-shirts and no one had a problem.
Fucking H&M and Top Man and Urban Outfitters and nothing else.
You bought jeans. You didn't have to assemble them.
Yeah.
They were just jeans, all right? Nowadays, everything's skuggery or whatever.
You got your zips and your
Chest drawers.
skull or whatever. Yeah.
So she didn't have that, but it was great. And we talked about it on the Patreon. But what did you think of last week's episode? Did you enjoy listening to it?
Every minute. As I said on the Patreon, the middle.
Favorite part was the middle.
A big fan.
Yeah, okay.
Big fan.
Do you think we should do that section again?
Every week, if possible.
Should we do it today then?
Yeah, please do.
Are you ready? Did you bring in a flamingo?
No.
Flamingo's code, by the way.
Oh, okay. I thought that was the bit where you sort of rated each other's nudes or something in the middle. Wasn't that?
Rate that nude.
Yeah.
That's the new for the podcast, especially. We're gonna do that now for the.
That would actually probably up our listenership quite a lot if we did rate my nudes, guys. If you wanted to send in your nudes for next week, we'll do a sort of rating. I think people will actually probably like pay people to do that on the internet as some kind of
or some sort of black market.
Some sort of like sub horrible, like rate my penis, and there's be some men who send penises in. I reckon if we said rate my nude, please send in your nudes and we'll rate them, we would get, I would say, 99.999% penis.
Balls and dick.
Yeah, I don't think anyone would there be
anyone with something that people want to see
not being sent in.
It would just be
we would get the blokes on chat roulette who just
wanking off with a big nest of pubes.
Yeah.
Big nest of
Shout
pubes.
out to the
little listener, that was original name for the podcast.
Big nest of pubes.
Yeah. And then we essentially
shout out to the chat roulette wankers. Fair play on you. You fat overweight blokes on your sofas. Just and as
fap off.
Make up probably about 80% of our audience. So that's
who now have even more embarrassingly listened to this podcast.
Yeah.
Than wanking on the internet, so fair enough. But yeah, well, it was a great episode, but it is a delight to have Mr. Tom Elways back in the studio.
Thank you very much.
Tom, you said you were going to talk about it. You've talked about it to some extent on the Patreon, but what was it like going abroad in this COVID times?
Let me tell you something. I didn't enjoy the tests. I'll be honest, because
school. Yeah, we know. That's been
shit at them, mate.
Yeah,
shit at them.
Spell COVID.
School of life, mate. School of life.
How many U's in COVID?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I didn't. Yeah, you had to do a fair few tests actually.
PCR tests, yeah. And you paying for that? Wonga?
Yeah, paying Wonga over 100 quid on tests. Passenger locator forms.
That's 8 gigs gone out the window.
Yeah, 8 T. There's I don't. So yeah, a lot of tests to get into Italy wasn't so bad, right? But I mean, actually, was bad. It was difficult.
What's the airport like? Are people all masked up? Is there people strict with it?
Yeah.
Or are people shouting, "This isn't Britain.
This is free. I want my freedom." Now, to be fair, the airport going there was very sort of legit. All the forms had to be looked at. You had to have all your test results.
Double vax as well, yeah.
Double vax, vaccine passports, whole shebang. Okay.
Did you make it up?
What, the double vax?
I vaccinated myself in 2020.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'm sorted.
I'm quad vaxxed actually, mate. Quad vaxxed. Yeah. Well, no, basically, so that was all right. And then you got to Italy, and that was okay. In Italy, to be fair, I think people were wearing masks and stuff.
What was the COVID situation there like?
Masks everywhere.
Really, they're more
masks everywhere.
More strict. They're more strict in Italy.
Yeah.
What does that tell us?
But I would say they did not give on the way back to the UK. They did not give a.
Well, they go out your country at that point. You fucking do what you want, mate.
Literally got to the gate, and one guy they were like, "So have you got your double vax?" And have you clicked? And he was just like, he's like, "My phone."
Yeah, my.
And they were like, "Well, we need to see it." And he's like, "Well, my phone doesn't work." And they were like,
"Up you go."
Okay, off you go. Arrivederci. Have a good time.
Was this in Italy flying back, not in the airport when you? Yeah, because I had it when I went to Santorini on my lad's holiday. My lad's engagement holiday. If anyone wants to propose to their lad mates, Santorini's, and be like, "I'm so glad I know you."
Yeah.
Fuck off, mate.
We'll be single forever together. That's it.
Yeah. Which I thought was the element of this podcast, but apparently
I'm loser.
Here with two losers. Even Lucas, he is 12 years old,
and he has a girlfriend. You actually, how long have you been with your girlfriend, Lucas?
Like 2 months now.
Whoa! Where did you meet?
We met on Tinder.
Oh, nice. Like actual Tinder?
Yeah, we met on Tinder.
That's still a thing now.
Look, he thinks he's so cool.
Yeah, it's all the kids are using.
The Tinder still.
But I thought like it'd be Hinge or
No, all the 12-year-olds use Tinder.
This is it. This is their first
It's come full
foray.
circle.
It's their first foray into it, though.
Full circle.
Hinge is for people who want to settle down with some bastards. Yeah.
Hinge is the new Match.com or whatever.
eHarmony.
God.
You're on eHarmony. I'm on uniform dating.
You're on everything, mate. Whatever you can get, you'll have.
Whatever it is, son. Whatever it is.
You're on kinky.
I'll dress as a policewoman. Yeah. I don't give a shit. Lollipop lady.
Kinky dog dating.
Lollipop lady is for people listening is not some sort of. It might be. It probably is a kink, but there were people who used to warden the traffic.
I'm fairly certain people know what lollipop.
But we have international listeners. They might not. They hear lollipop lady. They're like, that's is she in the charts?
Yeah.
Sounds like some sort of R&B
50 Cent song.
Yeah, sort of sexy trap artist.
A very polite 50 Cent song. Oh, you're a lollipop lady.
Lollipop lady. You got any chopper chops for me? Yeah, exactly. Be great. I am a rapper. So going back, so on you're getting a call from a 0800 number. 0800 number. Have you called in to sort of answer next Saturday night takeaway? They're ringing you back.
That's actually NHS.
Do you still want the Hyundai?
Do you know what that is? That's NHS track and trace.
Oh shit! You just deleted it.
No. I will.
They're coming for you.
Yeah, they are coming for me because we got pinged on our flight, ladies and gentlemen. But I have taken a PCR test.
You're pinged on the flight, airbound.
No, on the way. Obviously, someone on our flight had it, and we got pinged. I got pinged today. So
have you still got your track and trace all on and all that?
Yeah. Well, I had to because for flying there, you had to show your passport, your vaccine passport, and you needed the track and trace through that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You got pinged. So
what
are you doing here?
Because I've done 2 tests. So
this guy rocks up, Lucas, and he just goes, "Yeah, I've got coronavirus anyway."
Yeah. Carry on.
I got pinged. Oh, worst part of the
Sorry, this is my commitment to this podcast. Okay. Sorry, some of these losers would stay at home and not do the podcast.
Didn't realise you flew Delta Plus.
Yeah.
Just coming back.
What do you mean?
So yeah, I remember coming back from my lad's holiday in Santorini, where it's very similar scenes, but in the UK at Gatwick or Luton, I forget where we came in, but where they were like, you had to have filled in this form, and there were just people going up, and they're like, "Oh, excuse me, sir, have you filled in the form?" "What form?" In you go.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. So when we landed, and bear in mind we landed late on a Sunday night, like 10 to midnight. And there were...
We still got a bit of time to go in for vodka revs.
Yeah, exactly. 2
for 1 on rum and coke.
Absolutely packed, the airport. When I mean, like, the immigration was like, there was over an hour people waiting just to get through. It was just nuts. So hopefully,
why are so many so busy?
Because everyone had to show, everyone had to show all their documentation to come in.
Yeah,
and obviously, like 90% of people just hadn't done it or had fucked it up or whatever. So it's just chaos.
So did you have a good time though? You had a good holiday?
Oh, Italy, cannot. I would say 100%. Italy. Yeah.
Where's that in the UK, mate?
It's just
Italy, down in Liverpool Street.
Yeah, you go Kent, you keep going.
Yes.
Italy, absolutely incredible.
Better than Bognor Regis.
Yeah, all I will say is, I will be honest, the language barrier there, don't speak much English. To a point
they don't got schools there.
Yeah.
They don't teach you anything.
It's weird. It's to a point where I went into a pharmacist to get some ibuprofen, and I was like, ibuprofen, and the guy was like...
You went there, and you were like...
Yeah.
Ibuprofen.
No, so then I went online. I was like, "What's ibuprofen in Italian?" It's ibuprofene, and I was like, "Ibuprofene," and he's like, "Oh, of course."
Si, grazie mille.
You would have thought you could have made the link between ibuprofen, but
he was just fucking with you. I think. Yeah. Just fucking. He saw an Englishman. You were there, I assume, in your sort of England shorts, Rooney 2004 Euros top, red, coming in. Excuse me, mate. Buongiorno.
No,
have you got any ibuprofen?
Yeah.
Profane.
I also got, what else experiences that I have apart from swimming and good food? I got a full, I forgot my razor, so I got them to do a full wet shave in a probably
wet shave?
Italian wet shave.
Did you not just have a beard for a week?
Huh? No.
What's wrong with that?
You know why I couldn't do that? Because the beard was actually growing real thick, so my tan line would have been unreal. No, half my face.
No, boys, honestly, listen, tan line would have been all over the fucking shop. Not gonna lie.
Can't have that.
It'd have been like I've been fucking skiing, which I bloody haven't.
And this is not a problem for you ever, but for the rest of us,
I grow my hair as thick and full as possible to basically have more coverage
of skin.
So basically, I can only burn my eyeballs.
You want to end up like a sort of human Sasquatch is your perfect ideal.
In many ways, I think, and that's when I go to the woods. You know, that's a brand of incels.
What Sasquatch is?
Men going their own way, MGTOWs.
Okay. Wow.
You know what incels is, guys? It's involuntary celibates, and it's a portion of society, mainly men, who have said the reason they can't have sex is because women are evil.
Yeah, this is basically if Ali Woods didn't do comedy, this is where it'd be headed.
Well, you will. You strap in for later. I want to tell you about my weekend.
Yeah.
But this is what I'm saying about the Sasquatch, men going their own way. So basically, this is a branch of incel where these dudes literally go and live in the woods on their own.
Solo cabin wood.
Yeah, because they're like, women are evil. The reality, society's a lie because they say you'll find the love of your life and you'll get married and all that. But obviously, it's not true, and there's nothing wrong with me. And I'm going to go live in the woods. So we could do maybe a
instead of dealing with it or working on yourself, it's just I'm not the problem. It's society's the problem.
Yeah.
The woods it is. Yes. Cabin in the woods.
Yes, exactly. Cabin in the woods.
That is so crazy.
Yeah. So maybe that might be me.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it, to be honest. If comedy doesn't work out, I could definitely see
there's shade.
I'm not the problem. The industry's the problem. I'm going to the woods. I'll fuck you later.
Right. You're damn fucking right. Yeah. There's shade in the woods, which is nice.
That's always true. There is a lot of shade.
Yeah.
What woods out of interest in the UK? Okay, I always thought about this. You can't really in America. You can just go off to like Montana or something, and you can go out into the wilderness. Yeah. Can't really do the sort of wilderness experience in the UK as much.
There's a problem with young people.
In
this country.
I don't think
it's proud of our woods.
Really, what are you gonna do? You're gonna go to sort of Basingstoke and keep going.
New Forest? Is that a thing? New Forest?
Yeah, it is, but it's not that big. I don't think you can really hide.
You live in the woods behind a sort of service station on the M25. that sort of clutch of trees, that cluster of trees over there. Who's that guy? Half the time you're staying at the Premier Inn at the service station.
By the welcome break.
By the welcome break, exactly. Drive up there. This is me now.
I'm a woodsman. I'm a country woodsman. Yeah.
Ali Woods in the woods. I'm going to do a show from there. That's where we're going to do the podcast from.
Yeah.
You're going to
have to come find you by the welcome break every week.
By the welcome break.
You'll be like, you will never find me. I've gone off grid.
Yeah, exactly. I'm of the earth now.
Yeah.
I am.
You won't.
I'm like Bear Grylls, and then they'll be like, "So which side is it on the welcome break?"
I don't have to cross the bridge. Is it the Burger King or the KFC side?
Yeah, just see me there, just playing on the arcade.
Quickly run out to the woods. No, I'm doing my woodsman shit.
Going to Chosen Noodle.
Yeah.
In the woods, foraging in the woods.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is a branch of that. So my week in absence. Thank you for asking, Tom.
No, yeah, please look, I hyped this on my Instagram story. So Ali Woods, let me know.
This is where you send a picture of your dog on your story, don't you? So that girls will go, oh, he must be sweet.
I do have an adorable dog.
He must be lovely because he's got a dog.
Yeah.
Little do you know what your plan for that dog is.
What, groom him and treat him nicely?
Yeah, sure, mate.
Yeah,
You're renting him out to all your single mates.
I do actually. Genuinely have had 2 friends borrow my dog to go on dates. So if anyone needs to borrow my dog to go on a date.
If you're doing that,
I
go to the woods.
As little as £15 an hour.
Go to the woods if you're doing that. And it's the Watford Gap welcome break. I'll see you there and I'll give you the induction. Thursdays,
solo woodsman.
Thursdays KFC do a deal. So,
okay.
So my last week, outside of recording probably the best ever episode of this podcast,
whatever.
And the listeners will know this on last week's episode, I said that I had been invited to a sex party.
Wow.
So let me give you the background of this. Lucas, you will not have had sex yet. I will explain that in full course of time.
This may shock you, but this is going to be okay. I'm so I'm just going to ask a few questions. First of all, who invites you to the sex party?
Shall I give you the background of the invite?
Yeah.
But then it was hung up in the air whether I was going to go. I can confirm now that I did go.
You attended the sex party.
So on Wednesday evening, I was doing a gig at Angel Comedy Club.
Right.
Someone replied to my story who I had gone on a couple of dates with back in December, and said, you still owe me £500.
You were the worst shag I've ever had. Please never contact me again. Why are you messaging?
So they just said, I think you gave me gonorrhea.
Yeah. So it's yours and I'm keeping it.
Yeah, probably the dog.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they messaged and said, I'm actually randomly at Angel Comedy.
Right.
Didn't come to see you before you start, just came along.
Yeah.
So I went, cool. So, that's great. So we got a drink afterwards, catching up. And then I asked, what are you up to this weekend? She said, well, Friday, I think I'm going to a sex party. And I said, and it's true. I was like, well, I've always thought maybe I should go to a sex party. I think that would be quite fun.
Yeah.
And then she went, well, why don't you come? And I was like, well, look, that's not how this works. Because I thought sex parties were like some sort of hush-hush secret society. You have to be invited in by a... But with this one, you just have to buy a ticket. So.
Oh, you have to buy a ticket? A ticketed sex party?
A ticketed sex party.
Okay.
Well, it was called Prison Watford, but I assume that was
Same thing.
But the things I saw there, I assume it was a sex bar.
Infernos.
I read out the description of it last time, and it was
Okay.
it was a sort of sinful event. That was the theme.
Right.
So yeah, that's how I got the invite. What
Two said sex party. Okay, so then what was it? Friday night rolls around.
Do you want? So have you
Yeah.
got specific questions you want me to answer, or do you want me to? I can just go through this.
Yeah, just keep going.
So-
If I'll interject if I have something.
So that's decided, right?
Mhm.
That's decided.
Mhm.
Okay. I make the decision after this podcast on Thursday, and I'm like, shit. So I need to get some sort of costume.
So it's sinful, sexy.
You have to come in theme of sin, and it's one of those where like we will reject you on the door if you come in jeans, t-shirts, suits. And I was like, oh man.
So what
I
did you?
can't-
Did
it
you
was-
have to go as like one of your sins? So
It was one of these things where
do you just do sort of you and you showed up after like what, like holding a PlayStation? Like I played like 17 hours of FIFA. Like,
my sin was
that's
only
my sin.
doing 4 gigs this week.
Yeah.
Sinful.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things where, you know, when it goes so left wing, it becomes right wing, where it's like, we want you to be your authentic self. So no dressing like this. You have to dress like you like sinful. And I was like, but my authentic self is t-shirt and jeans. That is my authentic self. So I was like a bit stressing. I was like, oh my God, they're gonna reject me.
Sexy devil? Is that what you? Okay.
So I was also thinking I could wear Man United top because that is the Red Devils. So. That's sin.
Only you would show up.
Come in my shorts.
Everyone's showing up in bondage. You're like, man, you're like-
Literally. I'm bonded to my club, Manchester United Football Club, 1878. So I had a corporate gig on
Right.
Friday afternoon,
Cool.
and the place was in Soho.
Yeah. Nice.
So and then I had to do another gig in Shoreditch later. So in the interim between the corporate gig and this gig, I went to sort of the sex shops of Soho, went to some of the fetish shops,
Like leather dog mask vibe.
all that shit.
Did you get a leather dog mask?
So I walked in, right, and I go to the guy, excuse me, I've got my first sex party tonight.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'd recommend anything particular to wear.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
The theme is sin.
Yeah.
And he's like, well done, you've got your first sex party, that's nice.
Yeah.
How are you feeling? I was like, I'm a bit nervous, to be honest. So anyway, he recommended some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What I will say is that it's very expensive. Did not know. I thought it would be really sort of affordable. Like, you know, I thought it'd be tacky, to be honest. But the cheapest collar there, I did get a collar. The cheapest collar there, 35 quid
Whoa.
for
So
a collar.
what did you do? Like a collar and nipple tassels?
So then I went to another, because I asked him, do you have any mesh tops? Because I was like, if I go in a mesh top and a collar, they got to let me in.
Yeah.
surely.
You look so stupid. I wish you had photos. Oh my god.
Oh, I have photos.
Okay,
Don't
good.
worry about that.
Great.
But I don't know if they're safe for podcasts.
Right.
So then I went to another shop. So that was the first look. If you're gay, you can be whatever type you want to be, whatever person you want to be. But I feel like a lot of time, from my experience, there are stereotypes. There's one stereotype with this first man who was lovely. He was so lovely, so open. The second guy, bitch. Not gonna lie. I went up to him and I was like, excuse me, do you have any mesh tops? And he went, no.
Not for you.
And then he went, you might want to try Zara or H&M. And I was like, excuse me, I am trying here to be sexy and kinky.
Right.
So what I did, right, was I bought a collar, as I said,
Yeah.
and I also bought some bondage wire, some bondage rope.
Cool.
Because I thought the string sort of thing. Because I thought, well, I can wrap that around something or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
And also that could be used, I could use that, because it's like 15 quid. I could use that another time, maybe if I wanted like tie a ham or something.
Yeah. Multi-purpose.
Needed
Fair
some
enough.
sort of turpine and some twine. Sorry, that's what I meant. So I get those things. Go back to my house, right? Well, no, so I do the other gig with the collar
Gear
and
in the back.
Go on with the collar on.
Yeah. Go to a sex party.
He's out tonight. No. Gig very good in Shoreditch, very nice. Thankfully, I was done by 8,
Cool.
so I get to go back. The couple of people I was going with come to the house. We decide I'm going to wear a suit. I'm not going to wear the collar.
Yeah.
Wear a suit with braces, no top, and then put makeup on. And I actually had
What's your makeup? What?
just a little bit of like eyeliner, shadow, bit of glitter on
Okay.
the eyes.
Yeah.
And then I had a Venetian mask. that I'd literally got from Venice.
Eyed wise shut.
Like 15 years ago, very much so.
Yeah.
With my family. And for some reason I didn't realise I still had.
Have you ever seen that episode of Always Sunny in Philadelphia where they go to the terrible sex party?
No.
It's fantastic. I would, yeah. They wear Venetian masks and a sort of cloak, but then they get there and it's just like a load of overweight dudes eating on a sofa in Venetian masks.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't quite like that.
Okay.
So, I was having a few drinks at mine. One of the people I was going with decides they're going to wear the collar.
Cool.
And so it didn't go to waste. And there was some drugs. Right. And I don't know if you won't know this drug, Lucas, because you're told, but there's a drug called MDMA.
Right.
Okay. Don't know if you've ever taken it. Anyone's ever taken it in this room or listening.
I don't know.
But all I will say is, it's the best thing ever invented.
Yeah. And I bloody love you.
Don't do drugs, guys.
Yeah.
But at the same time, someone had this MDMA and I've taken it before, and I was like, all right, well, I'll be up for this because this
sex pie, you know.
Sex pie is going to be fun.
I mean, it's actually probably not a good thing to take if you want to have.
If you want to have sex,
pie,
later that is an issue. So then take some of that. And what if you don't know what it does? It just basically really increases your serotonin levels, so you think you're on top of the world, but then you obviously have to pay for that with a come down later, and that's not a euphemism. And we went there, got to the queue, and I was like, oh, phew, I'm definitely going to get in because everyone's sort of similar dressed, and blah blah blah. Went in, got a drink on my friends in lingerie, and it was really lovely. It was a lovely time. We sort of went around the party, chatted to some people.
Is it in a nightclub?
Nice and friendly. It was in a club, in Cannon Street.
Okay.
Big club. There was performances going on. There was like house music and DJing and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And I was having a terrific time. I've got to say, everyone was so complimentary. They were so lovely. And basically, you talk with someone, and you could just basically be like, "Oh, do you want to like kiss or something like that?" And they go like, "Yeah," and that's my king, by the way.
Yeah. And you're like, "Well, that is enough for me."
Yeah. And but it wasn't very intense.
Wasn't
was cool.
sex.
So what I found out when I was there was this was being billed as a sex party to a couple of us, but actually this was more of a sexy party, in that everyone was sort of dolled up and people had stuff out and bits and pieces, and there's not much male lingerie, I've got to say. There's the harness. It seemed like a lot of people wearing a harness and sort of hot pants. And so we went there, and I just sort of went around and chatted and drunk and got off a few people. There was some whipping at one point. There was some like
of yourself or
no, of other people. And I did some of
the whipping.
Yeah, because the person I was with wanted
to be whipped.
Yeah.
Was
there was behind curtain bits where sometimes you go in there, there'd be someone knocking someone off or something like that. But there's a bit of that. Yeah. So there was like sex, but apparently they didn't want you to have sex in the proper sex in there. There wasn't like a room for sex really. There was like curtains you could go behind and do some stuff. Tried to go behind the curtain a couple of times with someone, but it was always busy, occupied.
So much curtain action, wow.
I lost my suit jacket, so I was walking around in the braces and the trousers, and it was honestly a lovely time. Finished at 6, I was still buzzing. Went to an after party in Walthamstow, which I thought was going to be, exactly, a bit of a mish. I thought it was going to be chilled out on the couches, smoking weed, chatting and stuff. No, it was none of that. It was like another house rave that started at like 8 a.m. Yeah, I was like, for fuck's sake.
Till 12, obviously.
Yeah, literally, I can't be asked for this. So we were there for a little bit and then went home. And got back to mine about 9:30 in the morning. I didn't have any sex at the sex party or even after because I was too tired. I wanted to go to bed. I will say I did some sexual stuff.
Okay. At the sex, what are we talking here?
I did some hand stuff.
Oh.
With a lady.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And
you shook hands with a lady.
I shook hands with a lady. Yeah. Nice. I high-fived her many times.
Cool.
Wow. So I did that, and you guys listening to this might want to know the gory details, but that's as much as I'll say. But then afterwards,
with a rando lady.
No, with someone. Oh. And this bloke came up to me in a harness and hot pants. I was just like, "Hey man, I saw you on the couch earlier with your friend. Just want to say that was really good. Really enjoyed that, man. Thanks."
Oh, he enjoyed the little show. Okay.
And he was like, "Yeah, it was really hot. Yeah, thanks." And I was like, "Oh, thanks, man." He's like, "Should have given you my glove. At least someone would have used it tonight." And he was.
Whoa.
So Yeah, I mean, that was like someone coming up to you after a gig and be like, mate, really enjoyed that.
Yeah,
man.
loved it,
Thanks."
yeah.
It was so funny. But otherwise, generally, yeah, people seemed very lovely. And I was just running around, chatting to everyone and going up to them. Someone recognized me in the smoking section.
Cool.
And was like, I think I follow you on Instagram. And I was like, fucked. and they went, oh my God, you're so different in person to your Instagram.
So much shorter.
Yeah,
It's weird.
they were like, yeah, why have you got no legs? No, they were like that. They were like, oh, I thought you were like this lovely guy on Instagram, but look at you, you're like so fucked up. Like, never meet your heroes. But they were saying it in a jokey way.
Yeah.
It was funny. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, I've got to say, I wish I had more maybe stories, but I was having the best time. I was just chatting to people, hanging out. I was fucked up. I was talking to loads of interesting people. Because my first question to everyone I met was, why the fuck are you here? What's going on? Like, how did you get into this?
Yeah, I think those club night sort of ones. I think that's because I have heard of the sort of Knightsbridge hotel ones, which seem a bit more graphic. But I feel like the club ones, it's more like a sort of fun thing.
And so what I think the point of it was for kink, like for what kinks you got and stuff. And so the point was to go there, meet people and meet similar kink-minded people and then go have sex somewhere else. I think that's basically what they were saying was the party vibe. But I was there going, oh my God, this is my first sex party.
Yeah, love it.
Like, I was not,
and everyone was like, oh,
bless
fuck off
him.
this guy. Yeah.
But
You noob.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy being, firstly, a lot of people not from the UK. So it's the sort of people you meet in a hostel. That's what I'd say. But older.
Right.
Sort of people who probably were in hostels 10 years ago, but now this is their hostel.
This is where we've ended up.
Yeah. There's a lot of people who you talk to them and I'll be like, oh, so who are you here with? And be like, that's my husband over there. And he'd be like necking someone over there. So couples together, yeah. I'd say mostly it was early 30s. I think that was mostly the vibe. You did obviously have some blokes who were way up aged, like 50s, maybe 60s.
Oh, okay, interesting.
But they were few and far between. And to be fair, they seemed very respectful, and it seemed generally very nice, and the performances were cool. And I mean, yeah, it was
all around very respectable party.
I had a cracking time.
I would have. I could,
but I didn't have any sex at the sex party, which is quite funny.
I'm way too British to go to that. I think I just couldn't. I'll be too awkward, and I wouldn't know.
But you're not very sexually confident like I am. Like I'm very sexually confident.
I mean, confident. Yeah. I mean,
I'm confident. I don't want to have sex. That's what
you know it's off the table, so you don't even try.
Yeah, exactly. So would you not? Well, you wouldn't fancy that sort of thing.
I don't know. I don't know how I'd be in that situation. I don't think it'd be very good.
What if your partner was like, I think we should do this?
Sex parties all the way.
She's like, I think we should try. We should go.
We should give it a whirl. Oh, I don't know. I think I'm too.
Because she's asked me to ask you.
Yeah.
Lucas, what about you? You lived on a boat, so you must be well up for this sort of shit.
Yeah, boat people.
Yeah, we had sexy boat parties all the time.
Yeah. So would you go to this sort of thing when you're of 18?
Yeah. When it's my birthday, I got my 18th. I think I would. I was actually chatting to a mate about this because he went to one, funnily, last week, and I was like, "What if you meet someone you know? Like, what if you're like cousins there or something?"
Yeah, mum.
And his mate was saying there's this really annoying ginger guy who kept running around and screaming at people.
It's my first time.
I wouldn't be surprised. But this is what they were saying to me. My friends, they were like, I'm worried you're going to get recognised because of your Instagram and stuff. And I was like,
oh, come on. Yeah, shut up. No one.
But they were right in the end. But I was also, it's part of my life, isn't it? It is my life. Like, it's not whatever. It's not like I'm doing anything there. And I was just.
Yeah. I mean, you talk about it on a podcast. I don't think
exactly. You know what I mean? I'm not bothered about that. But honestly, I had a really swell time. So fortunate. Yeah. But it was very hippie vibes.
It sounds like a casual sex party.
This is basically what it was. That's what they were saying is a sexy party. I mean, yeah. As I said, did go behind the curtain a couple of times. They go, oh, and there'd be someone just.
Having a nosh.
Getting all sorts of stuff going to their genitals, but generally it was more about sort of meeting people and chatting and getting off and stuff.
More of a
yeah. But I think it's a bit of a community because loads of people knew each other and stuff like that already.
Behind the curtains, what was that? Just like a sort of bench or kind of
a rack?
Yeah.
no, it was just like sofas, like plush sort of sofas.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
Now you're interested.
I wouldn't want to be the cleaner the next day of the sofas. Pure load wiping.
Yeah. That finished, and they had a conservative party
conference. Yeah.
Conference at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was a bit. So thank you very much for inviting me to the sex party, and that was it. And well, maybe it will happen again. Who knows? But at the moment, I'm still recovering.
Still recovering, right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to move on to the news and something else that is not really recovering, and that is energy prices in the UK. Seamless transition.
This man is the professional here.
Woo!
How are you gonna do sex parties to EDF Energy? Oh my god!
Yeah. So the wholesale price of gas has increased dramatically, leading to the collapse of a lot of small energy firms. They don't really know.
This is such a gish.
There could be over 1 million people without, an energy provider.
Yeah, which is sucks for them. I think this is
Go to a sex party. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, guys, I tell you what would really lift your mood.
Sex parties.
Come, get your collar, calm down. The way the guy was like, no,
he was bitchy towards you.
He was stuff.
Yeah, you want to go back in a few years' time when you're a real sex party
like,
profesh and be like, have you got any leather dog masks, please?
Yeah, exactly. And he'd be like, no. That was a bit 2021. So I think with this story, I don't know loads about it. I feel this is just another step towards the destruction of the earth.
Well, it does feel like we are in a bit of a perfect storm with the old some petrol stations are closing as well due to the lack of HEV drivers, there's shelves are not being stocked with various different foods at the moment in like Tesco's and Sainsbury's. And this is just another tick to the perfect storm of fuckhousery that is this country at the moment.
Yeah, it's just it's great times. The UK, isn't it? It's really fun. I like it when we get more isolationist, more angry, more divided with less food and oil.
Yeah.
That's the perfect combination. As you say, sort of that's an enjoyable thing. But if you want cheering up, Vauxhall Comedy at Tuesdays, we will go. We don't need oil, do we?
No.
Probably do, actually. I was like, you weren't here.
This whole place run on a generator.
Yeah. The week you weren't here, I did do that at the break time. I just got an oil pipe and just sprayed everyone with it. And then we had a big wrestling match. So that was good, to be fair. But
sort of like, have you seen like Mad Max Fury Road where the water comes down?
Yeah.
He's going to sort of spray with the
That
oil.
was it, yeah,
Everyone had their cups to fill up their cars.
Yeah, a lot of that. And then I set it on fire and,
Yeah.
and just blew up. But anyway, so this is big news. I'm not sure where to start with it. I do feel worried about the state of our environment. I hope people get some energy and some gas. If you can't, then Tom will be revealing his address at the end of this episode, and so you can go and stay with him and his dog.
Yeah, and hang out, and I'm sure my girlfriend won't mind. It's, I don't know, I feel like it's, you're right, it's the perfect storm. It's like all these shithousery things.
Surely this shouldn't happen, is my point.
Yeah.
Surely you should know gas doesn't live forever. Like it's just not going to keep getting oil. Surely, what was the point of...
I mean, they just fucked it. They fucked it. And to a point where the government minister today was like hoping that we had a mild autumn. Just sort of, otherwise we could really be fucked.
That's the plan. That's
hope for good weather.
And then everyone forget about it, really.
Yeah.
Christmas is coming, isn't it? So that's fun.
Won't be a problem, actually, if we have bloody good weather. So, yeah.
Well, look, unfortunately, this is really the big news story of the week that is in tone with our light entertainment style of broadcasting. I'm sorry if you've not got gas.
Yeah, genuinely.
That is a genuine problem. I'm all right at the moment.
Yeah.
Unless I get back and all the lights are off. But
nothing you can do. I mean, it is weird. It is, I don't know. I just feel...
it's worrying, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because then the thing is, I don't think in 5 years it's going to be like, do you remember we had loads of gas shortages? Now we've got loads of gas. Now we've got loads of gas and oil coming out of the earth every minute. Anytime anyone jumps, some more oil comes out of a tap,
Yeah.
So really, I think... this is the thing, right? What we want is a futuristic solution where suddenly everyone's like, there's this new renewable energy, unobtainium, which we can all run everything off. Only 1 gram of it can power the whole of Marrakesh with and blah blah blah. But that's not going to happen. That won't happen. What everyone needs to do is stop driving around and be vegan and not fly anywhere.
Yeah.
But also that's not going to happen.
Yeah. So the happy medium is, and I don't want to go all Rogan on you here, but it's nuclear energy, ladies and gentlemen. We have to go nuclear. Yeah.
Yeah. Power plant.
More nuclear. You can actually do it relatively sustainably now compared to what they were doing.
And
in
the great thing about nuclear energy, it's never caused anyone any harm.
Yeah. Or any incidents.
There's never been a death because of nuclear power.
Yeah.
Let me tell you that. Right?
Nuclear anything is always a good idea.
You always say, is it safe to do that? Mate, it's nuclear.
Yeah,
then you're chilled and then you're relaxed. Yeah. That's why the hazard signs are such a calming red and yellow. So yeah, that'll be.
But that's it. I can't see any other plausible way out at the moment.
Does Bitcoin? Can things run on Bitcoin? Can things run on
Crypto.
Ethereum?
So crypto is one of the biggest benefactors to climate change because it uses so much fucking energy.
I know. That's why I tell anyone who smugly tells me how they're making money off. So because I talk to the woke people of London,
Right.
and they're like, mate, have you invested in crypto yet?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Like, you need. And I go, oh yeah, no, it's cool. What do you think of the environmental damage it has? And they go, what? Okay, because it causes more damage collectively than basically like any other industry.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, like I don't know.
I don't really know that much about it.
Yeah, like I'm not really about that. Like, when someone says like, yeah, I'm not really doing it for that. Yeah, I know you're not doing it for that, mate. Yeah, I'm not really my problem, to be honest.
Not an issue.
So yeah, but that's really all the news we have for you guys.
Yeah, it's all pretty shit and depressing. Let's be honest. There was a volcano in
What, the
Spain.
podcast?
I mean, that was shit as well. But
Okay. Yeah. Let's lighten out with the volcano in Spain.
yeah, Canary Islands. Sorry, there was a volcano. It was yeah.
Well, look, guys.
No one was actually killed though, so that's one positive for the volcano in the Canary Islands.
Good. If you want to de-stress, we'll go to the sex party together, all of us, and we'll all get off.
I won't be coming, but
You're coming, mate. You're
No.
bringing your dog as well.
Yeah, I mean, you'd love it.
And you're coming. We're all going to be there, and we're all going to not have sex with each other, as is the way the sex parties go. Right. So.
Right.
We move on.
We're going to move on to Agony Uncle, but not in a weird way, ladies and gentlemen. I slept with my boyfriend's best mate, and I don't know how to tell him.
Jesus Christ.
But this is like she wants to tell him.
Ah, okay.
You know,
Yeah.
it's a I want to tell him. I'm gonna tell him, but don't know how.
Yeah.
So this is you've got the worst news ever that you have to break to someone. What is the correct way of going about breaking
Yeah.
their heart?
Yeah. I would invite him to a sex party.
Encourage him to sleep with one of your friends.
Yeah. Bring your friend. Not your fittest friend, obviously.
Yeah.
Some trash.
Some off cut.
And then say what you're really into is them having sex.
Mm.
And then at that point, go, how could you do that to me?
It's awful.
It was a test. So this is obviously heartbreaking stuff. You want to tell them, which is good. I would recommend telling.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing. Well done. Secondly, unfortunately, this is going to be horrific. I'm never a big fan of the whole public place for bad news thing.
Not this.
Not this, because
Not this.
So it would just have to be do it after you've eaten. That's the only thing I would say. Because once you've eaten on a settled stomach, you're a bit nicer.
But what if it's such bad news and he starts crying and vomits?
Then that's his problem.
Okay.
Don't worry about that. Don't give a shit. Then he's got the vomit to worry about, so he's not going to be thinking about that anymore.
Yeah, okay.
So have food first and then do it in daylight.
Right.
Don't do it in the evening.
Right.
And do it on a clear Saturday when they've got lots of time. And basically say, he's better than you in bed. No, don't say any of that. So what I'd say is get away from details. Don't start talking about how it was or anything like that.
Mm-mm.
Just say, I've got to tell you, I've got to come clean. And then you just got to say it. You just got to come out and say it. And before that,
I would say don't make any
say,
excuses as well.
Don't make any. Yeah, don't say. Yeah, or you could go proper toxic and be like, "You made me do this.
Yeah.
The way you treat me.
Yeah.
I don't get any.
I had no choice.
I don't get any physical attention.
Yeah.
I had to. This
Yeah.
is a cry for help.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah.
And
Don't do
also,
that.
me and your best mate got drunk. So don't do any of that. Don't blame. Don't play the blame game. Yeah. What you should do is before you bring up with him, write down your main points, like any speech.
Mm.
Write down the bits, the key points you want to hit, the key lines. So,
Mhm.
for instance, why did you do it? When he asked that, how did you feel about it? How do you feel about it now? What do you think that you guys should do? Do you think you should stay together or not? All these key questions that will come up, like in a debate.
Mm.
Write down your answers for them beforehand, so you're at least prepped. And because the thing is, you may well say something that escalates it worse. As we said, if you do say something like, "Well, this is sort of your fault,"
And if there is reasoning behind doing it, if there is, well, you were doing this, or maybe he had cheated, or whatever. I don't know what your reasoning was.
you hadn't put the toilet
Don't-
seat down, so
Yeah.
I shagged your mate.
Yeah, serve you right. But I would keep it to yourself for the initial bit, and then maybe a few days later, and then maybe bring up the reasoning. I would say on this first initial outing of this, because this isn't something that gets sorted in one evening. This is going to be, even if you do stay together and you work this out, this is something that's going to go on for quite a while. So on this first initial excursion, I would just apologise profusely and say sorry.
Also, you might want to talk about whether you want to be in an open relationship.
Yeah, I mean, that's an option.
You might want to say, I think maybe
if you are dating,
I would like us to stay together,
Woods,
but be in an open relationship.
This is how he'll break he wants to be in an open relationship with you, by shagging your
I
best
don't have
mate.
sex with anyone. I went to a sex party and didn't get laid. So the prospect that I'm cheating on someone. But I think, you might want to say, I mean, that's, again, if you're talking about moving forward, because if you cheat to this severity, then there probably was something up with the relationship that you felt that you're willing to...
Or you deeply love the best friend. That's the option.
Imagine that. Good gossip.
It's cold. That's cold.
So so there's going to be no good way to do it. I do it at home, during the day, sober, obviously, after food, get food in them. Before you start talking about it, write down your main points and responses to the inevitable questions. Also, take 3 deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth, just before you start.
Yes. Oh, gives me chills thinking about that. Gives me absolute chills.
And my last thing is blame it all on him.
Yeah. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to move on to fail mail. Okay. We had a few responses to this one. And this was, we asked you your funniest stories of staying over at someone's house. Okay. I'm just going to start with
so funniest or most embarrassing stories, moments of you. Could be a sleepover, it could be a sexy time sleepover, something like that. But what have you got for us there?
Okay, here you go. My pal's mum showed us her porno.
Jesus Christ.
Can you imagine sleeping over at your mate's house, right, as a teenager, and your pal's mum showing you the porn? I don't actually know the age. To be fair, it could be a lot older than. I just am assuming teenager. Maybe it's actually like your 20s, but the person who sent it in can't be older than their 20s. So,
mum's porno. That's one of those things.
I assume. I mean, I've got so many questions of like, what the fuck was her son? Was he in the room?
Did he watch as well?
Was it?
Or we talked about this before about people showing them their work.
I assume not. I assume that you would never want to watch.
So do you reckon she just went? Do you want to see something cool? Leave Ben for a minute.
Yeah.
See something cool.
Just I got something.
Thinking maybe she's going to show him maybe like a horror movie or something. I don't know, or like a.
I will do some more because we know the person who sent this in. So I will do some investigation for you, ladies and gentlemen. I'll come back with all the facts on this one next week because this is crazy.
What would be, well, the worst thing would be that she showed you it because she felt sorry for you. Because she thought, look, I know you've been friends with Ben for a long time.
Yeah.
And I said Ben accidentally.
Yeah.
I think this is quite.
Yeah.
And he tells me you don't get with anyone. You've not even got internet at your house. You can't even look online. So I'll pop something on.
Yeah. Have a watch.
I'll leave you to it. If you want to take care of business.
Yeah.
I'll have some brownies in the next room. Come in when you're ready, okay? And then ruffles your hair.
Yeah, go on, you little scamp.
So and then 2 minutes later,
yeah. What I'd also like to know is that is this a professional porn star or is this homemade footage she shot herself?
That's a great point.
Yeah,
amateur. Maybe it was just her fingering herself.
Yeah, it could. Yeah, it could just be really bad.
But maybe she's impressed. Maybe she's just like, I just won an award for best blowjob, and
yeah. If she's the world's best porn star and everyone knows
she's current Bukkake winner.
Yeah. Oh God.
And she says, "Sit down on the couch. We're gonna. I know it's embarrassing. Look, I know, but that's my. I'm a parent. I'm supposed to embarrass you. Put me getting railed on. Good for her. Good for her. Well, also, I hope everyone was of age. At mate's house, hooked up with her brother. Sex was so shit, so put the TV on and then fell asleep.
Okay. Well, that's the
same person found friends' mums and summer toys collection with the kitchen cutlery.
Oh, what? I mean, what? That's unsanitary. Oh, that's just unsanitary. Yeah. Fuck.
I discovered my friend had a mini snail farm in her bedroom. What the fuck? What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
Snail farm?
You definitely had an ant farm as a kid. You look like an ant farm kid.
I listened to Alien Ant Farm, but I didn't have an ant farm, no. I didn't have any pets when I was a kid. Really.
Oh, really?
What would you do if you were dating someone, you went back to theirs, and they had a tarantula?
I would be alright with it. I'm not a wuss. Not a fucking
That's
wuss,
scary,
mate.
bruv.
I'm not a fucking wuss, mate. I'd be alright with it.
Tarantula.
I'd be like,
And what
tarantula, you're in some kinky stuff, mate.
Tarantula, right? You got tarantula, huge fucker, right?
Yeah.
Hairy, big legs.
Yeah.
And she says, by the way, I sleep with it open so he can wander around the room.
Oh no.
What happened there?
I like feeling him crawl across my face.
Yeah, I like him. Sort of, he like you would with a cat, or like he comes into the bed. And,
he snuggles.
Yeah, and he's really friendly, especially when I have people over. He loves sort of just
snuggling up.
You. Yeah, would you do that?
Absolutely not. But,
exactly.
But I wouldn't mind it in a cage.
Yeah. Mate sticking a chip up his cat's bum.
Weird.
Then punching his dad in the head. Was only 12.
I feel that as a problem child, if I'm perfectly honest. That's someone who's got a lot going on there.
Poo skid in the bed I was given to sleep in, which is horrific.
Oh, the poo skid.
Not good at all. And then last one from a friend of mine. First time getting drunk, threw up in a hammock and fell asleep on it. That is grim.
Oh, okay. That's gross. I had a mate's brother climbing into bed with me. Then we started seeing each other for a year. So that actually worked out all right.
Very scary start. Sort of happy ending. Hope you're okay.
Yeah. Okay. When woke up in the morning and got scared to find a stranger turned out to be my best friend's mate without her makeup on.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cruel thing to say.
Yeah. Savage.
I was horrified when I saw what I thought was some sort of dog creature.
Yeah.
Only to discover it was someone without the makeup on.
You hideous savage.
Oh, I was horrified. There we go.
There we go. I will get some more deets on the porno watching because that is just so crazy, and I want to know. Right, guys, thank you so much for listening to All I Do Is Fail. You can follow us at ADIFPod on all good social media channels, and you can follow me at Tom Elwes on all good social media channels. Ali?
At Hollywood's Gigs. As we say, you can come watch us every Tuesday night at Vauxhall Comedy Club, ADIF Tuesdays. Also, I'm doing a show in Glossop next month.
Oh.
9th of October.
Okay.
So if you're near Glossop or know where Glossop is.
Where is Glossop, out of interest?
Half an hour from Manchester.
Okay.
You know why you're laughing, mate? Bit of a fun journey for me.
Yeah. Is it a preview? Doing your own solo show?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
That's that premium preview spot that everyone's always after.
Glossop.
Yeah. Come on down, guys. Come on down.
To Glossop. I will see you there 9th of October. Otherwise, find me at Hollywood's Gigs, and you can follow the podcast at ADIFPod, and you can subscribe to our Patreon for an extra episode every week. Patreon.com/ADIFPod. For $5 a month, you get an extra episode every week. It's great value, isn't it?
Ooh.
Thank you very much, Lucas, for producing us.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me, guys.
No worries. And thank you for listening. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.